welcome to 365. Start again, maybe?
Maybe not.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Hello,
Okay, you start again, but I'm not playing the intro again because it's too much of a faff.
I couldn't hear it anyway. Hello, you.
Yeah, God.
Hello, you are listening to the 365 Flicks podcast. This is a special episode. This is a review of Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Rogue One. Yeah.
Was that your?
Ba-ba-bam, 365, Rogue One. Ba-ba-bam. Although, let's not jump straight into spoiler territory. What we're going to do, we're gonna do a review of the movie as it was, basically on the plot, on some of the characters and all that, and then we will give you a hefty spoiler warning, because we know there's some picky fucks out there. So we'll give you a hefty spoiler warning, and then we're going to just dive into spoilers and shit like that, and we're really going to go into it. But I mean, this isn't a spoiler, but a Star Wars story appears nowhere in the opening credits.
It does not.
No, so
neither does an opening crawl,
which I loved.
I was okay with it.
I mean, let's be honest.
I was okay with it.
We already knew the story in the opening crawl to A New Hope, so technically we didn't need it. But it was nice, and we didn't have the typical opening Star Wars theme, which was great. It had its own sort of theme tune going on, which I loved. But I mean, let's just Rogue One. Overall, what are your feelings and thoughts? Because we were going to do an instant reaction when we got back from the cinema, but I could tell that you had some thinking to do.
I did have some thinking to do, yeah. You know when we watched Force Awakens last year?
Yes.
We came at the end of Force Awakens, obviously, there's the bit with Luke Skywalker and everything on the cliffs and that. So when Force Awakens ended, we were kind of just, huh.
Yeah, we all were pretty much just walking out of the cinema going, okay. Huh.
And yeah, so when we first came out of the cinema, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but I think I needed to think over some stuff and things. I was just feeling a little bit, I don't want to say underwhelmed, but because I wasn't underwhelmed given, events that happen towards the end of the movie. But we'll get to that later on in the episode.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. But yeah, when we left the cinema, I was just feeling a little bit flat.
Yep.
So I needed to go away and think about it, which I've done.
And you've had a really good think. See, I think I was completely different to you. I came out and I knew exactly how I felt about the movie. I knew I had all my thoughts about it, and over the last couple of days since we saw it, because we went to see it on Sunday night, today is now Tuesday, I haven't necessarily changed any of my views, if not really, but I've had a wee bit of time, like yourself, to think about it. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad we didn't do this straight away, because I think when we did the review of, what was it, Suicide Squad, we did the instant review for?
Yes.
We kind of went out all guns blazing, and we hadn't had any time to think about it, and we just thought that movie was the balls. Still do think that movie was the balls. You weren't happy with the trash monster, but
no.
But this one, my thoughts haven't changed at all over the last couple of days, so it'll be no surprise to you what I'm about to say when we say it. But before all that, we are the 365 Flicks podcast. You are.
I am Chris, the Scottish Whedon whore.
Because as I noticed, we were getting really good at this, and we just totally didn't do it.
We just completely fucked it up, yeah.
And you can find us on all the social medias. Look for 365 Flicks. You can find us on all your third-party podcasting apps. Where would you like to start with Rogue One, Chris? We've given our general thoughts and feelings of the overall movie. You had some thinking to do. I came out of it happy. I did come out of it happy. I came out of it happy. There's no brushing over that. But where would you like to start?
Well, let's just, because as Kev said, we're keeping it completely as spoiler-free as we possibly can.
Yes.
If we happen to let little things slip in this bit here, just put your tweets away. Just shut up.
We have kind of already warned them, so.
Yeah, well, exactly. So we'll do our best to keep it spoiler-free here, but we'll talk a little bit about the plot, will we?
Yeah, let's talk about a little bit about the plot.
Yeah. So as everybody knows, the Rogue One is about the stealing of Death Star plans, which you are, as Kev said, you're told about in the opening crawl of A New Hope. So it's about a band of rebels who have who have got their first major victory against the evil empire, and it's their story.
Yes.
That's basically it.
It is the story of Rogue One.
Yes, it is. Aye. So that's the story. So we're at the very start of the movie, we're introduced to. Now you see, I haven't learned their names yet. I've got it on my phone.
We kind of start the movie off with the main the main protagonist's dad, which was played by Mads Mikkelsen.
Very well. Very well. That was some shit grammar.
I super loved Mads Mikkelsen in this. I was happy when he got cast. I was totally thrown out of my chair, as you will know, when the next guy turned up. Because although I remember him being cast, I couldn't, for some reason, I completely forgot he was going to be in this. But you had Ben Mendelsohn coming in.
Who is fucking great.
He's fucking great in everything, man.
Of course he is.
He's an awesome actor. And in this was absolutely no difference because it's Ben Mendelsohn. So, like I say, when they cast him, I was happy. And like I say, I 100% forgot he was going to be in this movie. So it was nice when he turned up.
It was. And as you said, Mads Mikkelsen was brilliant. Ben Mendelsohn was Brad to check his name there again. You don't fucking like my names, shut up.
I know.
He was great as well, fucking fantastic. And so we're introduced to little girl Jyn Erso.
Oh, Jyn Erso, yeah. Love Jyn Erso.
Yeah, I liked her. I still prefer Rey.
I know you prefer Rey, and as I said in the car, and I felt like I had to keep saying it because I didn't want you to get upset or anything, but I think Jyn is just so much better than Rey. And I'll tell you my reasons for that is the fact that when we finished Force Awakens and when all the reviews started coming out, and Max Landis, fellow geek extraordinaire, he came out and he did his whole Rey's a Mary Sue, because she picked up a lightsaber, she knew how to use it, she was already kick-ass. This chick, Jyn Erso, you kind of had a little bit of backstory from when she was a child, and then you were alluded to the in-between years, because it jumps ahead a little bit, and you're alluded to the shit she's gone through. So it's kind of like she's already war-torn, she's already battle-ready, and this is why I love Jyn Erso, and she's just... It doesn't hurt that she is tidy as fuck, to be honest.
Well, Felicity Jones is
very
cracking actress. And as you say, she's tidy as fuck. So, that didn't hurt whatsoever. I don't want to take anything away from the character.
No.
It's a great character. Fucking badass. I like me a female badass.
Yeah.
Fucking Buffy, come on. So, nothing. I'm not taking anything from the character whatsoever. I just personally preferred Rey.
I know you did. And in return, I am taking nothing away from Rey. Because I did love Rey. I didn't agree with all the Mary Sue comments. I hated all that bullshit. I just thought Daisy Ridley nailed the performance. I thought Rey was a great character and a nice introduction to the new trilogy. So I'm not taking anything away from her. I just loved Jyn. I thought Jyn was great. And then when she's wearing the Imperial uniform towards the end of the movie, I mean, it just takes her hotness from this level to this level,
Oh, is that what the noise was?
She looked damn fine in that, I've got to say.
Mm-hmm. We're introduced to little girl Jyn, who she hides from Imperial stormtroopers, and then we cut from there. We're not going to tell you what happens or anything like that. We cut from there to adult Jyn Erso, who is recruited by the rebellion, and she is recruited to look for the
plans for the Death
Star. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's the basic story of the movie. Do we want to say anything more about that without giving spoiler alerts, going really deeply into it?
I mean, that is the basic premise of the movie, is them getting the team together and then going to get the Death Star plans. I mean, is there anything else to really say about that without going too deep?
I don't think there is, because
it's not Inception anyway. This is one of the things that I do love about this movie, is the fact that, much like A New Hope, it's just so simple. The story is as simple. It's almost just a heist movie with some actiony stuff thrown in and stuff like that. So yeah, it's simple and I loved it.
Yeah, well, that's what I loved about the premise of this movie is it's a Star Wars heist movie.
Yeah.
Thought that, when they first said that, I thought, fuck yeah, that's going to be great.
And the little bit of, I suppose you would say, for the girls thing. Oh, that was a bit sexist. But the little bit of like romance that they throw in there it doesn't do anything. It's not in your face. I mean, you're more concerned, or you're more into the romance between Donnie Yen and Wan Jian, but because there's definitely something going on there. But while I'm on that, let's just talk about the team a little bit. So you got Ray. You got Jin Erso, who is recruited by Cassian Andor, played by Diego Luna, who I love Diego Luna, so it was nice to see him again.
I don't think I've ever seen him in anything before.
You have. You've seen him in loads.
Have I really?
He's just Bloodfather.
Oh, he was in Elysium.
He was in Bloodfather. He was the badass boyfriend.
Right. Okay.
In Bloodfather with Mel Gibber. But I love Diego Luna. He's a good little actor. He's been knocking about for a wee while now. And he is accompanied by, token droid of the movie, K2SO, voiced and mocapped by Alan Tudyk.
I loved K2SO.
He was great, wasn't he? He was just a much better version of C-3PO.
Yeah. There were lots of funny moments with him, but he was also a badass.
He was.
There was a moment. This isn't any spoiler at all, but when the droid says to Jin, I'm with you because Cassian told me I had to be.
Yeah.
Do you remember that bit? That was great.
He's got loads of like great little one-liners, and again, it's not exactly spoiler territory, but he gets the old line of "I've got a bad feeling about this."
Yeah, he gets part of it,
which is he does. He gets part of it. He gets cut short, but that's one of those things that we've heard in practically every Star Wars movie so far, and any movie.
In every Star Wars movie, isn't it?
I think it is. And pretty much any movie that Harrison Ford's been in. So. But yeah, we get K2SO. We got Donnie Yen, and I'm not even going to try and say the name of the character he plays, and Wen Jian playing Baz Malbus, the two badasses of the movie.
Yes, they were. They were. And they had an awesome tagline as well. I feel the Force is with me.
They did.
I am one with the Force is with me.
It did get a little bit like, I was kind of sat there going, oh, shut up.
Yeah, there is a bit there. I know the bit exactly that you're on about. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, okay, shut the fuck up. And but they were good. There were a couple of badasses. Again, they had some funny moments. They kind of reminded me of, in Kill Bill. I think it's the first Kill Bill where the bride goes to to Hattori Hanzo.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? The two.
You understand?
Yeah. And they're like fucking throwing daggers at each other and all that kind of shit. That kind of reminded me of that a little bit. Just a little. They were funny together, and as you said, there was something going on.
I did love them too. They were great. Baz especially with the fucking the assault rifle type weapon. I just absolutely loved that. He was proper badass. Rounding off the team, we had young Brit Riz Ahmed, who you just watched recently in your TV show.
I certainly did. Yes, He was good. He's a cracking actor.
Going places. So, definitely going places.
Yes, it was good to see him in that. You also had Jimmy Smits reprising his role as Bail Organa. That was good. That was solid. I have something on that a little bit later, but we'll cover that later. I want to put it out there. I want to ask you a question, but we'll get to that bit a little bit later. But yeah, Bail Organa was there. No worries. Big shout out to Genevieve O'Reilly, who was reprising the role, or who was taking up the role, of Mon Mothma. She did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, this is where I'm going to say something negative now.
Oh, no, don't let it be about him.
I'm not going to let the whole thing be about him, but
okay.
Forrest Whitaker can fuck off.
Okay.
He did, and actually, I said this to Brigger when we were messaging each other during the roadblock on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me if I'd seen it, and, I said Forrest Whitaker did absolutely nothing for me in that movie, and Brigger agreed with me, so... There you go.
He was only really there to kind of give you a little bit of the backstory as to what Jin's been going through. to show you that she'd had a life in the years that we missed. That's all he was there for, and to be a bit mental and push the story forward. I had no problems with him. Normally, I'll be the first person to jump all over Forrest Whitaker and say, fuck you, get off my screen. But no, he didn't bother me. I actually quite liked him in this.
I did not.
That's cool.
I did not.
I'm okay with that.
So he can fuck off. It didn't ruin the movie for me, not at all. But yeah, fuck off. Yeah, so those are the main characters in it. I mean, we had a lot of other characters in there, but those are the main characters. You had Ben Daniels in there as well, who was General Merrick.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Ben Daniels is another good actor.
What about the small cameo by Daniel Mays, another Brit actor that we love, from Ashes to Ashes? He was the one that told Cassian, and Cassian shot him in the back, basically. Told him about there was plans for a big ship coming, and it was right at the start of the movie.
Oh yes, okay. Yeah, I'm with you now.
Thank you.
Yeah,
like not a massive role, but I liked it. And I suppose do we want to talk about a certain someone, or do we want to leave that for the spoiler section? A certain CGI'd someone.
I think we'll leave that for the spoiler section.
Okay.
Because I didn't know that they were doing that.
I didn't.
Into the movie. So
I had no idea they were doing that.
We won't give that away, so we'll park that for the moment.
And when I did look at the IMDb, that character is nowhere to be seen on at least the first couple of pages. He's nowhere to be seen. So
I did read a thing, nothing to do with that, but I did read a thing about you've got the space battle going on and everything over the planet, and you've got footage of X-Wing pilots from A New Hope.
Yes.
And they used
stock footage, didn't they?
Yes, they used stock footage to remaster it and put them in, which is a nice little touch.
It is a nice little touch. It kind of, and you know what it is? It's not in your face, over the top, but you kind of can tell that it's from the original sort of set of movies, but without it punching you.
Well, that's the thing. I kind of. When it was during the big space set piece, which you need in a Star Wars movie.
Yes,
I did think, they were from A New Hope, were they?
Yeah,
but I didn't really think of it anything more because certain things happened, and that's one thing that, as you would expect in a Star Wars movie, the effects were fucking amazing.
Yeah, they nailed it.
You saw it, and like you say, Kev, it didn't smack you in the face, and it wasn't winking at you.
No.
It wasn't saying, look at it, what about that? None of that. But you also had, we can say a few Easter eggs, can't we?
Yeah, of course we can. So
you had C-3PO and R2-D2 in there.
Oh, excellent.
Which was quality.
Literally a 5 to 10 second. Not even that. It was so blink and you'll miss it.
Speaking of which, you had Jin run into the two fellas who were going to star and Luke in A New Hope.
Yeah, butt chin face.
And again he said, "You better watch yourself." So you should. You're after watching yourself.
Yes, they were there. I've got nothing to say on that. They were there. And let's just stick on Easter eggs for a split second. You also had, when they went to the city of Jeddah, when they went into Forrest Whitaker's little cave thing, you had an actual board game of the chess set that they were playing in A New Hope. Mm-hmm. You had the actual board game with actual figures, which, from what I'm told, and I only read this, so I can't exactly say it's 100%. But
is that a fan theory?
No. A couple of the chess piece characters were based on Gareth Edwards' other movie Monsters.
Oh,
so
right.
that was something that apparently the crew did, and he never noticed until final product.
See, I thought you were going to say that was the real version of the game that was on the Millennium Falcon.
Well, yeah, it was the board game version of it.
So it was like Forrest Whitaker was playing with Chewbacca.
Oh no, I'm not having that. And also you had the dancing girl is it Jabba's palace? You had a hologram of her in the place where they all were, and they were all kind of just perving over that, which, you know, was pretty cool. That was another blink and you'll miss it type thing. There was hundreds of cameos. I mean, not cameos, Easter eggs. This movie was chock full of them, and people are going to have so much fun scratching the surface for all of this, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm not thankful for that.
I know you don't, but I'll probably watch it about 20 times to try and find everything. Because, you know, I've got the OCD on that kind of thing.
That's one thing I don't have the OCD about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So one thing that isn't a spoiler, because it was very, very well publicised, apart from the little bit near the end that we'll get to later, Darth Vader.
Darth Vader, yeah.
It was very well publicised that Darth Vader was going to be in this movie. We didn't know what kind of capacity he was going to have, but he's very much in it, and he's fucking great.
I did kind of hit you a little bit when he first showed up on the screen.
What did we think of the extremely reminiscent of Empire Strikes Back chamber that we saw Darth Vader in?
Well, yeah, that's the first question. Now, this could come across as a stupid question, but when we're first introduced to Vader,
yeah,
and again, this is not a spoiler. This doesn't have anything to do with the story or anything like that. This is just where you're first introduced to Vader. Now, was that the lava planet from Sith?
That's how I took it.
Yeah,
that's how I took it. So
he'd like built himself
a base
temple,
a temple on the planet where he was pretty much destroyed. You know, because you would. That's how I took it. I may be wrong. We may be wrong. You know, again, as Chris likes to say, put your tweets away. It could be a completely different planet, but that's exactly how I took it.
That's how I picked it up.
Yeah. Because you would.
I can't remember the name of the planet.
Yeah, it'll come to me later.
Yeah.
Was it like Mustafar or something?
Yes, well done.
Was it? Excellent.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Mustafar.
My next guess was going to be Alderaan.
See, I was going to say Geonosis, but that's Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Nah, never that.
But the regeneration chamber that he was in was very much the same as the one that Luke was in Empire Strikes Back. How did you feel about that? Nice little connection there.
It was. I'm not really sure what Darth Vader would be doing at that, though.
Probably just because he's all crippled and mangled to fuck.
Did you notice that Forrest Whitaker's character, he had like a sort of mouth breather thing? And it was kind of doing the...
Yeah. Did you
notice that as well?
I did wonder what was going on there, and it didn't really turn into anything, so that was okay.
No, it didn't at all. But yeah. I just thought,
maybe he was the Emperor's first choice to be turned into Darth Vader?
Oh, no, fuck that.
No,
never that.
No, because he's just a bit mental.
Stupid wonky eye bastard. What?
Okay, leave him alone. So, I mean, that's pretty much your cast. That's sort of like your Easter eggs, sort of your main story and all that. There's not a massive great deal else we can talk about unless we go into the spoiler territory. But before that, sort of, we've already commented on how good this movie looked, how good the space battles looked. How do you think Gareth Edwards done on his run out for Rogue One? Like, the director, how do you think he's done on this?
I thought he did great.
Yeah?
Great job. Yeah. It's a solid movie. We were speaking to Dev, Big Sexy Dev on the Facebooks, was it last night? Who was trying to get a rise out of us? He was the fucker.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Were you arguing with him and I'd fallen asleep?
No. You shared a thing about it and said it was a game changer.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Dev said, how it's not going to be a game changer and it's the reboot the entire thing and all that. And I replied saying it's a game changer in that it shows that Star Wars doesn't necessarily have to be in a trilogy format.
Yeah, which is pretty much one of the things you said when we came out of the cinema. You were like happy.
The movie worked on its own. Yes, it was connected to A New Hope, which we already knew. Yes, there were lots of Easter eggs in there. Nothing wrong with that. But it showed, and this is where the game changer part comes into it, it showed that Star Wars doesn't need to be in a 3-movie ongoing story format.
No,
Star Wars, if you get the proper writer, the proper director, the proper actors in there, Star Wars can work as an individual story, which, when you think about what Lucasfilm and Disney are planning to do with the franchise, that's a game changer for them. Because if it had flopped and people were slating it to fuck, then they would have been thinking, oh shit, we got a problem here.
Yeah, and let's be honest, the numbers for the opening weekend have started coming in, and it ain't flopped. It's fucking smashed. It's absolutely smashed so far. So, I mean, let's hope that momentum keeps going, and some of these articles that are coming out from different sources are not going to sway anyone, because I want people to see Rogue One. You know, even if I didn't like this movie, I wanted people to see it, because we need more Star Wars, and this is 100% the way to be going with it. You know, I was very openly on the previous episodes that we've done, I was openly against these standalone movies. I didn't want a Han Solo standalone movie. I didn't want a Darth Vader standalone movie. I didn't want any of that shit. For a certain degree, I didn't even want Rogue One to be a standalone movie. The only reason I was sort of in on it was because it connected to A New Hope, but I still didn't want it.
I know.
And I stand corrected. I stand completely corrected. Like, this is definitely a way that they need to be heading.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more open to, still maybe not so much Han Solo, but I'm still very much open to a Darth Vader solo movie now.
You know, when we get to the spoiler section, but we'll talk about that then. Yeah. I don't want to... someone else, who the hell was it? Someone else chipped in on that conversation. Rodney Morrison chipped in on that conversation. He said, I was at the cinema, I couldn't really be asked to go and see it though. And I replied saying, you know him, right?
Yeah, I know him. Hi.
So is he a Star Wars fan or not?
I think he's a fan. He's probably an armchair fan. He's not a fan as in we are, but he likes the Star Wars movies, but not enough to be going opening weekend or you know, not enough to be storming Skywalker rants like we definitely would. But
fair enough.
He's a fan in that sense.
I replied saying, I'm not giving anything away here, which I still won't, but there is a scene towards the end of the movie that every Star Wars fan, whether you're a light fan or you're a hardcore fan, every single Star Wars fan should go to the cinema just to see this scene in particular, because it's fucking awesome.
It's the scene that you've always wanted. Without giving anything away, you've always wanted this, and it's so fucking worth it. So,
do you want to do a cheeky marks out of 10 just now, or do you want to leave that until after we've done the full review?
We'll leave that. We'll leave that till we've done the full review. We also have a little thing for you. Chris decided to spring this on me at the start, so I had to quickly make some notes. But we are going to rank the 8 movies to date at the end of the episode as well. So stick around for that and see where Rogue One comes in the running for that. But yeah, there's not much else to say apart from let's just jump into some spoiler territory and let's just talk about the shit we really want to talk about. So we're going to do
spoilers now. So you are warned. Don't get pissy if you listen to this and it spoils it for you, because you have been warned.
I'll play a little bit of cheeky music in there, and then we'll come back, and then there we go. What do you want to talk about first?
So we'll not go through the entire plot of the movie, because here's the time for that. But holy fuck, let's talk about that Darth Vader scene at the end of the movie.
So we're not going to go through the entire movie, we're just going to skip straight to the end.
No, we can talk about the other stuff later on as you think about it. But
yeah.
I've been thinking about that scene since we stepped out of the cinema.
It was immense. It was immense because we had a little scene earlier on with Ben Mendelsohn trying to get some power from Darth Vader, kind of like, let me be the leader, fuck the other guy off. We're still not going to say who that is because we want to talk about that in a minute. But he's kind of like, fuck the other guy. I'm gonna be the leader. I built the Death Star. This is what's going to happen. And basically, Vader starts to force choke him, which I was sat there just like, shit yeah. Wasn't enough that we had some James Earl Jones doing the voicing again, but it was like, shit yeah, fuck yeah.
And then just to sort of rub salt into the wound, he fucking Arnie's it and does a punchline.
He does. He fully punches.
What was it again? Be careful, you don't want to choke on your words or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Something like your aspirations. You don't want to choke on your aspirations or something like that.
Something like that. Something like
that. So then the movie goes on. They get the plans. There's this little bit of to and fro to get the plans up to the fucking good guys, because they can't get out of the planet because there's a big shield there. And you get literally the scene that Chris is talking about bleeds straight into A New Hope, and it's kind of like it all goes dark. You've got all the guys running through the corridors the same way A New Hope starts. Everybody's going a bit nuts, running away from Vader and his troops, and the red lightsaber just lights up the whole corridor, and fuck me, wow, holy shit
is right.
It was like,
and
we should have all been sitting there going, "This is awesome!"
Thank God it was quite loud, because I did go, "Oh!"
Oh yeah, I think everybody did. Everybody was just like, "Fuck!" It was kind of like, Fantastic Four, the new movie, is not a great movie, but that scene with Doctor Doom walking down the corridor, this is very much like that. He's forcing people up to the ceiling.
That's it. He's got people on the ceiling, and he's chucking people about, and
cutting them in half,
slicing them. Fucking fantastic! And the first thing I said to you and Paul as we left the cinema was, "That's the movie we want. Yep. That's the fucking movie we want."
That's the Darth Vader movie we have to see. Him,
oh, hell yeah.
Him hunting down the Jedis, cutting fucking people apart, and just, yeah.
Fantastic. Absolutely fucking amazing.
It was. There's nothing else you can say about it. It truly was.
So, yeah, we'll rewind a bit. We'll rewind a bit, because let's talk about the inclusion of, and again, spoilers here, that we didn't know about this going in, so we don't want anybody else. The inclusion of Peter Cushing into the movie.
Yes, Grand Moff Tarkin make an appearance, and not just a small appearance.
No, he was a major role in the movie.
He was a huge major role, which is why I was surprised when I went on IMDb, because I was kind of like, did I just not see this? Did I just completely miss this? But you go on IMDb and he's in the rest of the cast alphabetically section, which, as you know, on IMDb is like right at the fucking bottom. So I don't know, maybe they tried to keep all this quiet. It was Guy Henry, another Brit actor, who is in Holby City. He was the guy, he was also in Deathly Hallows Part 1 for Harry Potter.
Right.
He was the stand-in, but obviously, like LucasArts or Light and Image Design, or whatever they're called, ILM?
Industrial Light and Magic?
Aye. They have done a fantastic fucking job.
Oh, God, yeah, it looked amazing. At first I thought, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Because you didn't actually know that the guy was dead, did you, when we were talking in the car?
Yeah, which was very stupid, because apparently he's been dead for about 20-odd years.
Oh, lots of people have been dead for 20 years. Don't worry about that, no, because you said to me, well, he looked a bit older than A New Hope.
He does look older, but, I mean, to be fair, fuck. Like, what a job they did. What an actual job this guy did. Is this the first time? Because they're doing this all the time now, with the making people look younger. They did it with Robert Downey Jr., they did it with Jeff Bridges. They've done it with Michael Douglas and Ant-Man.
Michael Douglas and Ant-Man, yeah.
But is this the first time they've done it with an actual dead
with
person?
An actual major role character, yeah. I mean, it has to be. I can't think of another time they've done it, like with Gladiator, for example.
Yeah.
For a little bit of the movie, because he died during the...
Yeah, with...
Oliver Reed?
Yeah.
Oliver Reed died during the making of the movie, so they had to do CGI for the rest of it, which I've never actually spotted. I don't think I've ever spotted where the CGI is. But, I mean, with this was a major role in the movie, and they've done a fucking amazing job of that.
Oh, they did. They absolutely nailed it, because, I mean, there was a couple of moments, like, in certain lighting, you can kind of see, but at the same time, that's because you're already looking at it, thinking, how the fuck have they done this?
Yeah, so you're kind of looking for it.
But there is a couple of scenes where the lighting is a little bit off-putting, and it kind of makes you realise that, oh, hang on, that's not him. But fuck me, what a job! And if you are looking for that, and if you're going to nitpick that, you're just an asshole. So.
Again, when I was speaking to Brigger about it, he said that people have been fucking bitching about it and stuff.
You can't bitch about it. It's perfect.
Fuck off.
It's perfect.
As you know, that article that you shared with me before, people bitch about fucking everything. So
yeah, we'll get to that.
we will get to that. But that looked fucking amazing, and we'll also jump ahead for a second here to the very, very, very end of the movie, because another bit looked amazing, and
Holy
that
fucking
was
shit.
Princess Leia was in the movie.
I hadn't read any reviews for this movie. I'd stayed away from all the reviews before we went to see it. Consciously, the same way I did with Force Awakens. I didn't want anything spoiled. I didn't want to know anything. But fuck me, I literally, the one or two things that I did see, it had made a few people cry, like in certain spaces. I don't think this was the scene that had made anyone cry. Like probably the scene with Ben Mendelsohn as a Mads Mikkelsen earlier on in the movie as a hologram. That probably made people go because it was a great scene. Mm-hmm. But when Leia came on the screen and when Leia turned around, I had a fucking tear in my eye.
I know you did.
And I'm not even going to say I didn't. I'm not going to man up on that. I'm literally just going to tell the people how much of a fucking bitch I am. And my God, she looked great.
Again, same as Peter Cushing. It looked fucking absolutely dead on to A New Hope.
Oh, unbelievable, man. And again, it was another stand-in character who done the role, a Norwegian actress, quite a young lass. She's not done much else, but I mean, she actually, when you look at the actual pictures of her, she does look a bit like Carrie Fisher back then. But fuck me, it's all Carrie Fisher, and it's all gravy for me. Like,
so wait, this wasn't CGI. This was an actual.
No, it was partly CGI from what I've read.
Okay,
it was partly CGI, but it was an actual actress as well who stood in for her. You know, you couldn't tell either way because she just looks so great.
It was amazing. Yeah.
And it just made me want to see Carrie Fisher a lot more at that age.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was about to say. It kind of made me wish that I came straight home and put A New Hope on, which is apparently what a lot of people are saying, is that when you go and see this in the cinema, they'll want to come home and put A New Hope on.
I think that probably is a thing. I can't say I felt that, but I think that probably is a thing. But that's you getting all, caught up in the moment, and
because it does it so well.
Of course it does. It does.
So props to the movie.
I mean, yeah. Like I say, a fucking tear.
And you're dead inside, so that's not an easy thing to get.
I'm massively dead inside. This is one of the points that I wanted to bring up to you because, and I mentioned it a wee bit earlier, but we didn't really go into it. There was a lot of talk when this movie was being made, as there is always a lot of talk when any movie like this is being made, about reshoots and things getting shuffled about, things getting added into the movie. I do think Princess Leia was always going to be in this movie. I think Gareth Edwards had that in his mind from probably the start. Like, if he could get away with it, we're going to do it. Mm-hmm. Same way Grand Moff Tarkin, if we can get away with it, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And but Jimmy Smits, Bail Organa, do we think he was always going to be in the movie? Because that first scene when we meet him, when Mon Mothma's telling everybody the original plans, what we're going to do and all that, he kind of just turns up, doesn't say anything, he just walks into the scene, and then the scene goes to something else. And I was kind of like, okay, either there's been a cut here, or why the fuck has Bail Organa stood there? It just didn't make a massive great deal of sense to me. I liked him in it.
I didn't really think about it, to be honest. I just kind of figured because the Organas or Alderaan was a big part of the Rebel Alliance, that, it's the Rebel Alliance Council meeting or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So why wouldn't he be there?
I'm glad he was. I wondered if this was something that to just connect it even more so to A New Hope, because I did read, and I never went fully into it, because apparently there's an interview with Gareth Edwards where he tells you what the original ending to Rogue One was going to be, and I really liked the original ending. Apparently, and this is a spoiler, Jyn and Cassian don't make it to the end of this movie. They don't make it out of the movie, but apparently that isn't the part where they were supposed to go. They were supposed to go a little bit extra, and they actually ended up on the ship.
All right.
But apparently that was one of the reshoots they wanted to do, was that they didn't make it off the planet, because what Gareth Edwards had planned was a bit more depressing.
More depressing.
Supposedly, but I like the way they went. I like the way, and let's just say it. Let's just get out of the way. They all die.
They all die. Yeah,
they all die. The entire Rogue One crew dies.
It's like Suicide Squad.
It is.
but Star Wars.
But nobody makes it out.
And more than just an Indian fella that dies in it.
It was fantastic though, and I loved the way, as you were saying before, the droid K2SO, his death was fantastic.
Yeah, great death.
It was amazing. He was a total fucking badass right till the end, and just the way he sort of gives himself for Jyn and Cassian is just fantastic. I loved it. As I said, the two lovers, the blind guy and Baz, because there's something was clearly going on there. I'm not judging, but it was happening. I think
that was because everybody's wanting Finn and what's his name?
They want a gay couple in Star Wars, so they were just like, you know what? Let's have an air of mystery to these guys.
And that's all you're getting.
So yeah, they go down in a blaze of glory, and then not like you say, I'm one with the Force is one with me. It was great. It was a little bit pretentious, but great.
I did, because he was being all forcey and stuff.
Yeah.
I did kind of want a bit with him versus Darth Vader.
Yeah, I mean, Donnie Yen for Star Wars is a massive, massive get. Like, he's phenomenal. You haven't seen IP Man, have you?
No.
You've got the IP Man trilogy where he is just a total fucking badass. So,
no, there isn't that.
So you see stuff like that, you would love to see him taking on Vader. You'd love to see him doing some of that kind of shit. But we got some amazing stuff out of them as was, so I was happy with Donnie Yen's character. But yeah, those two go down in a blaze of glory. Riz Ahmed pretty much gets blown up, which was shit.
Which again, it was a good death though.
It was a good death, but I was kind of like, I think that was probably like, I was sat there going, huh. So they've just killed Riz Ahmed. But I was kind of getting away with it because he's not the biggest character in the crew. So I was kind of getting away with that. And then, of course, Cassian and Jyn give their lives. They don't really give their lives. They just don't really have another choice.
Well, they don't really have a choice, do they? Because, so let's talk about the Death Star weapon then.
Yeah.
Going on that. Because you don't get the Death Star weapon in the blowy-uppy, Alderaan is gone. There's been a great disturbance in the Force bit kind of way. You get a Death Star weapon that can just blow up a city or...
Yeah. Which
so that was...
I liked that, but it was sort of... That was them sort of saying it's built, it's finished, but it's not full capacity.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really make a great deal of sense, because in A New Hope, like you say, it's blown up planets.
Mm-hmm. Which, when you consider it leads right into A New Hope.
But
I think there is the moment where Grand Moff Tarkin says a certain level of fire or something.
Yeah, he wants to make he wants to make a statement, not a manifesto kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
I think the second city they blow up, it's the Empire. It's like the data control center or something like that. The Empire. That's where they're stealing the Death Star plans from.
Scarif, it was called.
Yeah. So they decided they're going to blow that up to prevent them from
getting the plans, basically.
Stealing the plans, yeah. But let's talk about the space battle then, because how fucking cool was that?
It was awesome. Yeah, they like you say, it's not a Star Wars movie without a good space battle.
Oh, yeah.
And this was an epic space battle.
But when the moment where you had what was it they call it, the hammer ship or something?
The Hammerhead Corvette.
That's the one. The hammer, yeah, that was fucking cool. And it ploughed into the side of the Star Destroyer, and then just took out the other one. That was so cool.
It was. That was the ship that Ian Lawson on the last episode was talking about. That is a ship that is from Rebels.
Right.
So we kind of thought we were maybe it was a bit hoping for too much, but we kind of thought that we were going to get some Ezra Bridger, and we didn't, unfortunately. But there was apparently a name drop to a Rebels character, but we don't know if it was like that actual character or just somebody with the same name or the same last name kind of thing. Like a commander. I can't remember the name they said. I'm sure Ian will pull me up on this one. But yeah, we got the Hammerhead Corvette, which was fucking great.
That was great.
Just ploughing a Star Destroyer into another Star Destroyer was just like, wow. also they could break the shield, and it's just, it kind of, again, much like JJ did the huge epic space battles, it blended so well with the real worldness of the planets, because I thought Scarif, that could have been any planet, it could have been any city, it could have been anywhere. It just looked fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah. Aye, definitely. And, well, you also get it's not in Scarif, but you get the scenes with the AT-ASTs, is it?
Which one?
Is that what they're calling them? Not the AT-AT. They're called something else.
Right.
Is it AT-ACT or AT-AST?
Yeah,
something like that.
We'll go with that.
Go with that one.
It's right. It's right till it's wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, they looked fucking cool as well.
They did.
It was great seeing them, and shite. Call themselves Star Wars fans. The littler ones as well. ATSTs.
Yes.
Aye. It was great seeing them again on screen too.
Oh, everything was great.
Yeah. But that was one of the big sort of, feelings that I got from the movie. That it wasn't nostalgia exactly, but it was just, we haven't seen those. We haven't seen the AT-STs since Return of the Jedi. We haven't seen the AT-ATs. I refuse to call them AT-ATs because that's just stupid. We haven't seen the AT-ATs since Empire Strikes Back.
Since Hoth.
Yeah. So it was just fucking cool seeing those on screen again.
I'll give you all that. It was great. I mean, and when it took a blast, what was it? Is it Baze? He gives it an absolute blast with one of his rocket launchers. It takes it and then keeps on ticking.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of, it gets it in the face, doesn't it? It gets the rocket launcher in the face, and then it just kind of turns around and points the cannons right back at him.
But again, another thing that in any other hands, in any other sort of atmosphere, or I don't know how to say it, but that could have been shit. That really it could have been one of those campy fucking shit moments in a movie. But it so worked in this one.
It did work.
I loved it.
It was the set pieces were absolutely fucking mesmerizing.
How did we feel about Jeddah, which was the the desert planet? You had Jeddah City. They blew it up, and it killed what's his name, Forrest Whitaker.
Well, I was pleased because Forrest Whitaker's character died. But how did I feel about it? I was okay with it. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine, yeah.
What did you make of the huge statue that you saw? It was in the first scene on that planet when...
Was it Obi-Wan?
It looked a hell of a lot like Obi-Wan. But from what I've seen, it's definitely a statue of a Jedi, because you can see the statue holding a lightsaber. So that's a Jedi planet, and it's obviously it makes sense that it's called the City of Jeddah. It's a little bit too close to not be that, But I wanted to know how you felt about that huge ass fucking statue.
Yeah, I was okay with it. I mean,
I did think it was Obi-Wan, much like yourself.
I thought it was Obi-Wan. I didn't really sort of think anything. When that scene was on, I was just sort of enjoying the movie, so I wasn't really, I wasn't really thinking, oh, that's cool. Isn't that where Jin ran into the guys from A New Hope?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So I was just into the movie and enjoying the movie at that point, so I wasn't really sort of...
I think that scene of the movie is when they just cram in every fucking Easter egg they can. Then they're all amazing, and I love them, and I'm not taking anything away from it.
We also got... This is a stupid one. At the very, very start of the movie, we also got blue milk.
We did in Jin's house.
Yeah, so Mads Mikkelsen's Moisture Farm, we got blue milk.
Mads Mikkelsen's Moisture Farm. That's a definite Mads Mikkelsen porno in the making.
Oh, fuck off.
And you know what? I'd watch it. So, I guess before we go on to our little bits to wrap up the show, scene of the movie for you? Best moment of the movie for you?
Darth Vader at the end.
In the corridor?
Yeah. I suppose, actually, before we got into yours, just to go back to what I was saying about if Darth Vader had an encounter with the blind guy, then that would have taken away from that scene at the end.
Yes.
Where you get Darth Vader tearing bastards apart.
Yeah.
So that would, if you'd had Darth Vader in action earlier on in the movie, that would have taken away from the effectiveness and like fuck me
Yeah.
of that. So I suppose there's that to think about. But for scene of the movie for me is that. If I had to pick another one, probably the when they blow up it'd be Jeddah, with the Death Star, and like the explosion is like going out into space.
Yeah, that was badass.
I thought that looked
great.
cool as hell. So I like that as well.
Yeah, that did look great. Yeah, that never even kind of 100%. I did. I love that. For me, probably the same. I think that whole little, probably the last 10-15 minutes of the movie the last 10 minutes, we'll say, from when Vader enters the ship. You see the Star Destroyer coming on, the Corvette tries to get away, and you see Vader hacking people up, and then they're passing the data file down the corridor, which I just loved, all that kind of get it through the next door, through the next door.
Yeah.
People are dropping like flies, get it through the next door. We have to get it there.
Darth Vader's coming.
Exactly. Oh. Darth Vader's fucking coming, which when you watch A New Hope and you see them all, now when you do watch A New Hope and you see them all running around the corridors, you have context now. It's not just people running around like fucking idiots and we don't really know why until Vader turns up. We know what's coming now. And we know it's a fucking badass.
Yeah.
Right the way up until Leia turning around and saying they've given us hope.
Mm-hmm.
I just loved it. And then all the way up to that scene. That whole little segment for me was just awesome. If I had to choose anything outside of that, it would probably be the battle on... I can't remember what it was. It was like Galen's little research facility. Mads Mikkelsen's research facility. And he goes... Cassian's going to try and kill Galen. And Jyn climbs up the ladders. And then Mendelsohn comes down. And there's like a little battle ensues there.
Oh, they're climbing up the thing.
Yeah.
They're climbing up they're climbing up like the data ports, aren't they?
Basically,
where everything's stored.
No. That's on Scarif. I'm on about on the planet where they crash land because they go to try and save Jin's dad.
Right.
But Cassian's there to kill Jin's dad, and Mendelsohn turns up to try and take Jin's dad away, and they kill all the other researchers. And it's an amazing little scene. I loved it. But
I can't remember that.
And then obviously the rogues come flying in the jet fighters and just take everyone out, which I just loved it because you had she's there trying to save her dad. She's there trying to find her dad and save her dad. Cassian's there trying to finish off his duty, which is to kill her dad, but he's torn. And then you've got like everybody else in the team is sort of putting together who each other is and what they're there to do. There's so much going on in that little scene, that little section of the movie, probably more so than any other section of the movie, that I would probably give my second favourite part of the movie to that.
Oh, fair enough.
There's just loads going on, and I loved it, and I was on the edge of my seat. And then Vader slashing fools apart. What do you want to do now? You want to try and start wrapping this up with sort of where we would put all these films? You want to give Rogue One a score first, or
we'll give it a score first?
Yeah, we'll give it a score. I'll let you go first, so I've got context.
Yeah, okay. I'll give it a solid 8 or 10. Mm-hmm. Love the movie. I wouldn't go into the thing where a lot of people are saying it's the best Star Wars movie since Empire Strikes Back. I wouldn't quite go that far. As I said to you in the car, I still prefer The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
From the new movie aspect side of things.
Yeah.
I love the fuck out of The Force Awakens. So that's not taking anything away from Rogue One. Love the movie. Great characters, great action, great direction, and you got Darth Vader tearing people apart. So solid 8 out of 10 for me. So
that's of all the movies so far. Of all the standalone movies, where do you put this one?
Oh, number 1, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd probably agree. I think a solid 8.5 for me. That's, yeah, I'd probably give it a little bit more because I did genuinely come out and just I was blown away by it. And I just got to see Leia again. There are holes in the plot. Obviously, there's always holes in the plot. I mean, there's a massive gaping fucking plot hole that nobody seems to have really picked up on. I've not actually seen anybody say anything about this yet, but I'm assuming this is part of the reshoots. You know the crystal necklace, the Kyber crystal that Mads Mikkelsen gives to Jin. And at the start of the movie, they make a point of letting you know about this Kyber crystal that Jin has. And then halfway through the movie, she kind of pulls it out and mentions it again. And then you see nothing else for the rest of the movie about this Kyber crystal necklace. And I did kind of walk out as I was thinking about the movie. And this is maybe why I knocked it down maybe half a point. It's like, why make a point of us seeing this? Why make a point of showing us this twice? And then there's not a payoff at all on this necklace. Is it just because it was a lightsaber necklace kind of thing? Like, lightsabers are made from Kyber crystals?
I wouldn't call it a plot hole, exactly.
It's not a plot hole. It's just, I probably think that this is something that got lost in the reshoots.
Yeah. But then, I mean, if you're going into that territory, then you have to have a Jedi in there, and
well, that's the thing.
you have to have somebody who's Force sensitive in there.
On one hand, I wanted to know what the crack was with this crystal, this necklace, because Mads Mikkelsen kind of told us there was something with it. Mm-hmm. And on the other hand, I'm like, I don't want to know what it is, because if we now know, is she going to have the Force? Is Jin going to have the Force? I was like, because I really don't want. I love the fact that apart from Darth Vader, we had no fucking Jedis in this movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you start having someone else in there who's Force sensitive, and so they start building a lightsaber out of the crystal, then it takes away from everything that this movie was supposed to be, which is there's no lightsaber battles. I know that Darth Vader has his lightsaber out when he's cutting pricks apart.
It's because Darth Vader.
Exactly, but the whole thing was it's about the guys who stole the plans of the Death Star. So there's no Jedi there. The Jedi are all but gone.
Yes.
So yeah, that would have taken the movie somewhere that it didn't really need to go.
It was just something that I like to think maybe got lost in the reshoots, and I don't know. I'm glad it did.
Yeah, I didn't really think it too much about the necklace, to be honest. I thought, okay, it's a lightsaber necklace. That's fine.
But then that
exactly like that.
But if that's the case, it's like, show us the necklace at the start, don't show us it again, and then I'm okay. It was just something that over the last couple of days when I've been thinking about it, I was like, why did they show us that again? But yeah, I would probably 8 to 8.5.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fair enough. So about the same.
Yeah.
About the same. And, as we've said before, I've said before, a good sign of a sign of a good movie is that you come out of it wanting to see it again. And
Definitely.
Fuck yes, I came out of this movie wanting to see it again.
I cannot wait to see this movie again.
That's what you want.
I will definitely be seeing this again. Would you like to know what our good friend Jason Brigger said about the movie? Because I did message him as we started to record, saying we are recording our Rogue One review thoughts, and this is what we got back from him.
Okay.
So Jason Brigger of the History of Bad Ideas, who is he's quite knowledgeable on movies. He might not know who they are, and he might do bad impressions of them, but he knows what's going on. He said that the Rogue One is the best film since Empire Strikes Back. Well done throughout, and loved the ending, and he's glad it was a standalone film. So it just echoes our thoughts, basically.
Yeah, I'm glad it was a standalone film.
Yeah, apart from best since Empire.
I don't agree with that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't agree with that?
Crisis for the geek kind. Top geek officials admit they underestimated the hipsters' defense capability. Join the geek revolution and save the galaxy. Geeks from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future. They're doing their part. Are you? Want to know more? Join Weeby Geeks and the Geek Revolution and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship. Listen to Weeby Geeks podcast on iTunes and Stitcher or online at WeebyGeeks.net. Weeby Geeks, your voice for the Geek Revolution. Want to know more?
I'm going to give you a shot to take back the 365 title.
Oh, you are?
Right now. I have a trivia question. Do you have your IMDb open?
No, I don't.
Good. I have a trivia question for you. And this is for the 365 title.
Uh-huh.
Warwick Davis is in this movie. He's in Rogue One. Who did Warwick Davis play in Rogue One? You don't have to give me the character's name, but if you can...
well, I'm shit with characters' names, as I've already demonstrated. But I'm going to say that in their team, there's a little thing with a fucking big mouth that's like shooting shit.
Right.
Yeah, him.
Is that who you're going for?
A little, you know what I mean?
Yes.
They're in the Rogue One sort of team, and it's like a big neck like that, and shoot things.
I know who you mean, because he gets more He gets more kills than most of the Rogue One team.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
That is who Warwick Davis played. The character is called We CUB. So yeah, well done. You got Warwick Davis right. I couldn't finish this episode without a Warwick Davis question in a Star Wars movie. I was just buzzing to see who was in it. But yeah, the belt's now yours.
Happy days.
So you will be going into 2017 with the 365 Championship.
Sweet.
Well done. So like you said at the start of the episode, we are going, or like I said, we are going to rate the Star Wars movies, how we feel about them right now as we speak, from the 8 movies that we have. However, we both agreed that The Phantom Menace is number 8 for both of us.
Yeah, because it's just not included in the list. It can fuck off.
Well,
this is our list, so put your fucking tweets away. Shut the fuck up.
To be fair, you didn't even want to include it.
No, I didn't.
You were like, do I really have to say the name of that movie?
On that note, can we both agree that Attack of the Clones is number 7?
Yes, Clones is number 7 on my list.
We'll just cross number 7 off as well. We'll start with number 6 on your list. What's number 6 on your list, my friend?
Number 6 on my list of the now 6 movies that we have is Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, wow.
Yeah, I was never a massive fan of Return of the Jedi. I never watched these movies in the cinema, all right? And when I did watch these movies, I watched them pretty much back to back. I got like the video box sets, and I got to watch Hope, Empire, and Jedi back to back, basically. And it may just be because I binged all 3 movies in a one kind of thing, but I came off the back of Empire, which is Empire, and I watched Jedi, which is Sesame Street. And I've always had a problem with Return of the Jedi, so yeah, I put it down at number 6.
I read a thing ages and ages and ages ago about Return of the Jedi. It's that Return of the Jedi didn't know what it wanted to be. Yeah. Did it want to be this movie that was going to sell a million fucking Ewok toys? Or did it want to be this dark as fuck movie with the Emperor monologuing all over the place?
Yeah.
And so I didn't really know what kind of movie it wanted to be. To wrap up, if you can hear that on this recording, that's my dog howling in his sleep.
Well, I heard it, so the people will hear it.
So, yeah.
Another cameo by Dexter on the 365 Flicks podcast.
There you go. Okay, fair enough about Jedi. I still enjoy the movie.
You don't like that, do you? You really don't like that.
What?
The fact that I put it at number 6.
My number 6 is Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I still enjoy Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Which is my number 5. So it was between those two.
So Return of the Jedi is your number 5 as well.
Return of the Jedi is saved for me once you get past all the Ewok. If you just ignore all the Ewok shit and just focus on the Emperor being the Emperor and fucking electrocuting the fuck out of Luke and just monologuing like a bastard. And, I still know all that scene off by heart.
Yeah,
I know. It's just fucking great. And
you do sit there and do it word for word while we're watching it, and it pisses me right off. But well done, you know the words. Yay.
Yeah, it is on my CV, just FYI.
On your CV?
Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my number 6 is Revenge of the Sith, and my number 5 is Empire Strikes Back.
Really well.
So what's your number 5?
My number 5, and I'm probably going to get shit for this one, but my number 5 is A New Hope.
Wow, damn.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal opening to the whole thing. It's a great opening, but you know how I like my movies. I like them dark. I like them sinister. So A New Hope is none of those things. It's even at the end of A New Hope when he's kind of, it's still quite bright. It's still a quite bright movie. And A New Hope for me, it doesn't really overly stand the test of time anymore. It does look kind of ancient. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying, for me, it's one of the lesser ones.
Huh.
And Luke's whiny as fuck in that movie.
Luke's whiny as fuck. He's Frodo Baggins. He's whiny as fuck in all of them.
He's not whiny as fucking all. He's the badass in Jedi. He's basically Shaft. He's Shaft in Jedi.
He's Shaft in Jedi. All right.
He's like, you don't need to see my papers. I don't know what the hell he said, but. So your number 5 was Jedi. Return of the Jedi. So your number 4.
My number 4, and similar to your last one, I'm probably going to get shit for this, but yeah, my number 4 is Rogue One.
Wow. Oh well, I can see why. So I'm not gonna give you shit on that. Other people may give you shit on that, but I'm not gonna.
Well, I don't care.
And to be fair, it's your list, so.
Exactly. Again, I love the movie. I'm not taking anything away from the movie, but when you consider the next 3 movies in the list, for me, it didn't bump any of them out.
No. Yeah, I can see that.
And that's a good thing to say. That's a good thing to be able to say, is that, for a while there, if you rewind back to the fucking dark days of Lucas's prequel trilogy, for a while there, it was like, oh, fuck this. Why are we Star Wars fans? Fuck this.
Yeah.
But now we're in the situation where we can say, oh, I don't actually know what one that's going to replace.
Yeah.
So Rogue One is my number 4, but again, that's my list. It's not, I'm not taking anything away from the fact that it was an awesome movie.
No, you've already said it was an awesome movie.
So there you go. So what's your number 4?
Revenge of the Sith.
Wow. Okay.
I actually love Revenge of the Sith. I really do. I can sit and watch that movie over and over. Yes, okay. The amount of CGI in that movie makes the movie look absolutely fucking hideous at moments.
That's where it falls down for me. Is that I remember I earlier on this year I rewatched it for the first time in quite a long time, and I messaged you as I was rewatching it saying, "This entire movie is green screen."
It's like,
and I've never realised that before.
It's 99% green screen, basically.
I genuinely before that had not realised that, and that for me really bumped it down. It was like I really, because Attack of the Clones isn't like that.
No.
Attack of the Clones has physical sets.
There's grass in
it.
There's grass in Attack of the Clones, so yeah.
Exactly, and sand.
and sand, yeah.
Which gets everywhere.
Ooh. Natalie Portman's crank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I really hadn't noticed that until I rewatched it, so that's why it bumped it down. But I know what you mean about it. Yeah, maybe from the bits where Anakin turns to the dark side on, but
well, exactly. But
before that.
My biggest problem with the prequel trilogy is that I always thought Anakin should have been really turning, and I mean really turning, in the first 10-15 minutes of the second movie. We spend far too long with Anakin being on the light side and will he, won't he. We should have had the hand cut off. I know he's only a Ben in the first movie, but we should have lost his hand way back in episode 1 if we're gonna do this right. That's my only problem with it. Well, no, I've got a lot of problems with the prequel trilogy, but I wanted to see Anakin being a badass earlier.
Yeah,
but when he does turn, I think he's amazing, and I think Hayden Christensen in Revenge of the Sith is underrated. Mm-hmm.
in certain points in Attack of the Clones, I think he's given a bum rap as well. I think in certain points, put your tweets away. In certain points, I think he is better than people say.
Yeah.
But people say a lot of things, as we always point out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they're idiots.
What Revenge of the Sith should have been is what we saw at the end of Rogue One. Is Darth Vader in a Darth Vader costume, Darth Vadering the fuck up.
Yeah. Instead of going, no!
That was more Chewie.
It was more Chewie, wasn't it?
But yeah, that's what Revenge of the Sith should have been.
Should have been.
But, okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
So this is where it gets interesting for me, so I'll let you go to your number 3.
My number 3 is The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens at number 3.
Yeah.
I like that. I did not expect that.
No?
Although, when I look at what you've got left, I suppose I did.
The Force Awakens, well, what can you say? It gets a lot of shit, but then people can fuck off.
No, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from The Force Awakens. It was my, I love it. I absolutely love it. It was JJ doing exactly what he had to do, and
that's why they brought JJ in there to do that.
And when people do give it shit, it's like, are you mental? Like, what are you doing? When people say it's basically A New Hope wrapped into Empire, I couldn't give two shiny fucks.
No, yeah, you know what? To say that, just shut the fuck up.
Like I said to Ian when we spoke to him at length before we recorded the episode, because we did speak at length.
Oh, but
yeah. when we spoke to Ian, that was one of the things I said, was the fact that that's what he had to do. He had to get it back to a point where we were good. We were good again, and we can go forward.
You know what I was saying on when we were talking about the Spider-Man trailer a couple of episodes ago, is that one of the points I made was that Spider-Man coming into the MCU is that Spider-Man sort of before he came into the MCU was considered a pretty toxic franchise.
Yeah.
Because Sony had fucked it up completely. If you think about it, when J.J. Abrams took over the Star Wars franchise and he had to make this whole new movie that was going to make it relevant again, people were going to be happy with the franchise again. It was going to lead into a whole new trilogy and a whole load of bloody standalones like Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
But when he took that over, all that people had, were the new the prequels.
Yeah.
From like recent movies coming out. I mean, yeah, you can buy the Blu-ray box set and you can watch it back, but from cinema release wise, all that people had were the fucking prequels. Mm-hmm. So JJ taking that over, it was a pretty similar to Spider-Man, a pretty fucking toxic franchise to take over because people were fucking going, fuck Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, not us though.
No, never that. But it's a solid movie. Anyone who is a copy and paste bastard,
fuck off
about it,
asshole. Still reeling from that.
No, you're not. You enjoyed it.
I did. I loved it.
Yeah,
that's on my CV.
And it's on mine too, under favourite insults. But a lot of people who were fucking giving episode 7 shit were just reading a review, fucking pasting that fucking opinion as their own. Fuck you.
Yep. 100% agree.
Done. So what's your number 3?
So my number 3, and this is where my list completely falls apart, because it pretty much tells you exactly what my number 1's going to be. But my number 3 is actually a tie. I cannot separate Force Awakens and Rogue One.
Huh.
When I came out of Rogue One, I mean, I'll tell you now, when we do our top 5 of 2016, Rogue One's going in there somewhere. Has to be. But when I came out of Rogue One, I just loved that movie. I came out and I thought that was actually better than The Force Awakens. I love The Force Awakens. You know I love The Force Awakens. Everybody knows that. But I came out thinking Rogue One was better than Force Awakens. And like we say, I'm glad we didn't do the instant reaction, because I've had a couple of days to have a wee think about it, and it's not better than The Force Awakens, but it's on a par with it for me. I love the fact that it's its own movie. I love the fact that it's a standalone. I also love the fact that The Force Awakens has rebooted. So it's like we've got a standalone movie to connect with the originals, and we've got pretty much a take on from the originals that is going to take us forward. They're both two completely different things, and I fucking love them both, and I can't separate Force Awakens from Rogue One.
Fair enough.
And I don't want to.
Fair enough.
So I put them both at number 3. Or number 2, I suppose.
Right. Okay.
2/3. But
right, so you just sort of merged 2 and 3.
Yeah. My 2 and 3, Awakens and Rogue One, I cannot split them apart. I love both movies. I think they're both great movies. Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
And I'm so happy that when I look at my list and I look at what I've got there, my movies that I would put in second place, because obviously I've put them together, they're the 2 newest movies, and they're the 2 movies that we're going forward with. And like you just said before, it's a great fucking place to be for a Star Wars fan. And yeah. I'm looking forward to everything that happens now.
So we won't be sort of doubting the future Star Wars movies coming out then.
I won't lie, the Han Solo movie I'm still not that fussed about.
It'll be fine.
It will be fine. It'll be fine. As long as you get the right person in there, it'll be great. Personally, Josh Trank for me is the man for the job. Get him in there for the Han Solo movie.
Fuck me! Wow.
But no. I look forward to seeing what they do with a Han Solo movie. Han Solo movie. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that. More interested if they turn around and say we're getting a Vader Solo movie. I'd be way more interested in that.
After seeing Rogue One, I want a Vader movie where he's going about hunting down Jedi.
I think we'll get it as well. And you know what it is? We never even mentioned, but you know the scene when he chokes out Ben Mendelsohn, or when he's choking him? The swagger on Darth Vader as he walks down that runway. Oh, man.
Oh, it was Vince McMahon level.
He's Vince McMahon in it all over the place. He's got some serious swagger. Which, when he first started walking down the runway, I always kind of sat there like, I had a little giggle to myself. But then I was like, you know what? If I was Darth Vader, I'm strutting.
Oh, yeah. You know that no chance in hell was going on in the helmet.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I lumped, I put Awakens and Rogue One together. I cannot separate them, and I don't want to.
Fair enough.
So, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is A New Hope.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. Well, obviously, both of our number 1 is Empire Strikes Back.
Yes, it has to be.
Well, yeah. But, yeah, A New Hope, I know what you said it being a bit lighter and all that kind of thing, but, you know, I don't necessarily agree with that, because you've got people being fucking tortured, or Princess Leia being tortured, and, you know,
that's not, like, a bad thing. That's, like, a wet dream come true.
You're a sick man. Yeah, that just went somewhere dark. Anyway, but that's probably the movie that needed the special editions the most.
Yeah,
I would say,
because you had zero budget. So
well, exactly. But you know, I give it props because it's the original Star Wars movie. If that one had tanked, or even hadn't been made, then we wouldn't be talking about Star Wars right now.
No, we wouldn't talk about Rogue One.
It's the original movie. It's not as dark. It's not as sort of light and fluffy as you say, I don't think, when you actually think about the movie itself. But you know, the special editions have improved the special effects and all that kind of thing. Fair enough. But I would say still, you know, from when I was a nipper and I watched it the first time, again, if that if that hadn't been so damn good, then again, we wouldn't be talking about Star Wars right now.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I do love A New Hope. It's a fantastic way to start a trilogy and then what would later become a franchise. It is great. For me, it falls down the list because there's just other things I prefer. I like my movies a little bit darker. I like badassery, and I don't think in A New Hope we get enough badassery for me. What we do get is an amazing introduction to Han Solo, an absolutely fucking stunning Leia, and yeah, it's a great opening. Just for me, just falls down the list a little bit.
Yeah, but you've got the only movie where, I've gone blank. Obi-Wan Kenobi. What the fuck was the actor's name? I've gone completely. Thank you, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, we're Star Wars fans, right? Yeah.
I don't think you are. I am.
Fuck yourself. I picked up New Hope before you. So, but it's the only movie where Alec Guinness is actually alive, and as Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's got anything to do, any real factor in it, but I suppose the one thing is this is like the third special edition that Lucas brought out, where he does the fucking dragon noise, to scare away the sand people.
Yeah,
and he changed it, and it's fucking horrendous. But then there's lots of things that are fucking horrendous about that. So we're not going to get into that because we'll be here all fucking night.
We will be, but we don't want to be.
No, we do not. So that was our lists. That was our personal lists of where everything lands in the Star Wars universe. I was about to say Star Trek there. That would have got some shit.
You would have been absolutely smashed.
Would you have gone, you're fired?
I wouldn't have said anything. I would have let the people do it for me.
So I am your new 365 Flicks champion.
Yes.
And your 3-time 365 Flicks champion.
Wow, 3 times.
Yeah, no?
See, I've only done that so that I can win it for the 3rd time.
Ah, right. So is it like I lose it on the 0.5s and you win it back at the main ones?
You are the 365 version of Sasha Banks.
Right, fair enough. Okay, I'm going to dye my hair purple.
Don't do that. So that's our Rogue One review. It's gone on a little bit longer than we thought it would. Let's just wrap this shit up. Of course, you can find us on all the social medias. You can find us on all your third-party podcast apps. You can find us on iTunes, 365 Flicks Podcast. Get in touch with us. Let us know the crack. I know you're out there listening. If you haven't seen Rogue One, go see Rogue One. You will fucking love it. Anything you'd like to say to end there?
Well, no, I think you wrapped that up quite well.
Thank you very much.
That's been another episode done and dusted.
And I suppose we'll be back for probably the New Year episode.
Yes.
Do we have any plans in between then? Because it's only like a week away.
Well, it is. It's the 20th now, so yeah, we'll talk in January.
Yeah,
we'll be back in January. Well, me and you'll talk before then, presumably.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah,
I've got your Christmas present up here, so I would hope so.
I've got a Christmas present. Oh, tidy.
Oh yeah, I've wrapped it and everything.
You've wrapped it?
No, Lindsay wrapped it.
But, okay.
But I'm going to take the credit for it.
Right, fair enough.
But yeah, we will be back most likely in January. The first episode back will be a 2016 roundup. It will be our best movies of 2016, our worst movies of 2016, our most depressing deaths of 2016. That would be a good.
Fuck me.
That'd be a good top 5. And the 2017 year ahead. And who knows? Given the type of fucking people we are, we'll probably squeeze in an interview.
Oh yeah, well we've got them lined up.
Because we're going to run out of January.
We're already kind of out of January, to be honest. So
and
it'll be fine.
Also, by the time this goes out, a couple of days earlier, timey-wimey and stuff, our Christmas episode will have dropped. So go and give that a listen if you haven't already.
Yes, definitely do that.
Yeah, it was a good one.
It was a good one. I was quite pleased with that one.
So away we go.
Mm-hmm.
See you in 2017. Have a good Christmas and a happy New Year.
What Kev said.